Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I'm going to show you how to do some faux, it's kind of like faux vellum, but I'm using tea bags. And I learned this technique from Natasha of Treasure Books, and I'm going to use this in my tea time journal. And this is for the project, the hashtag howdoyoudo, which is hosted by Sharyl of The Whole Bucket. And we have a host of other collaborators who are participating. And I'll have a link in the description for all the participants. And the name of the digital kit is called Tea Time. And I'll also have a link in the description of if you're interested in how you can get it. And you could also participate in the hashtag howdoyoudo as well. So, yeah, I made all of these basically just using napkins, stamps, napkin stamps, and Mod Podge. That was basically it. So I'm just going to show you some of them. Now, almost all of these have tea bags over top of them, except for a few of them. Now, this one I didn't, let me get a piece of white paper. This one I didn't put a tea bag over top of it because it was already like a tannish color. So I was getting ready to, but to me it was too dark, and the image, you couldn't really see through it as well. So here's one, and this one I really liked how that one turned out. This one came from a stamp. I stamped several different images from, it was Stampendous. I can't think of the name of the whole thing. So I used stamps on the napkin, on the plain napkin. You know how you get like the 3-ply, and you take your image off the first, and then you take the other two leftover plain white napkins. That's what I use for a few of these in here. And I just stamped on them, and I took some black Morphone acrylic paint pens and went around some of these images. So there's that one. Now this one was one of the original. It was an actual image from a napkin. It was a printed image. This one was stamped, and now some of the stamped images showed pretty well, and then some of them, they're not necessarily all that great. Now here's a napkin with that image on it, and I like how that turned out. And some of these have little bits of tea left in the little granules of tea that was left from the tea bag when it was during the drying process, because I didn't let all of it. I took the tea out of the bags while they were still wet on some of them, so you can still see little old kernels or bits of pieces of tea in there, which to me just kind of adds character. So that one was stamped. This one I wasn't real fond of. This one was stamped, and I did this one in the reverse of how I did all the others. The others, I just put the napkin down first, then I put the tea bag on top. I put the napkin on top of the tea bag on this one so that the image would show better. So I guess it could go either or. And then here's one where I use 2 different tea bags, because sometimes you'll have images that are pretty big, but your tea bag's not big enough for it. So that's that one. Then you have this one. And then this one, it didn't really show up too good, but you can still do something with it, you know. Maybe put it on here, maybe put, I don't know, some kind of an image over top of it. I don't know, just something. There's a way, well, there's a will, there's a way you can make something out of it. Make it into a pocket and put like a little sticker or something on top of it. This one is similar to that one. It was the same stamp and you can't really see it, so I just kind of left it. And then this one was also stamped. So, and from the looks of it, I put it on backwards. The thing of it is yeah, I put it on backwards. I wonder how bad it would look if I put the shiny side on versus the dull side. Who knows? But there are different things you can do with these. You can, you know, put them in your journal, or put them against like old book pages, or, you know, just different stuff. Just try it out. And if you have designer paper like this one right here, and I do like that, and I also really like that too. So that's cute, and that's cute too, and that's cute too. Yeah, so I'm gonna find a place in this journal, and we'll see where to put it at. But yeah, I just wanted to basically show you how to make these. So let me just go ahead and get started. Okay, so what you're gonna need, you're gonna need like a piece of plastic, and this is just like an old piece of plastic that came from a bedding set, like a bed in a bag or whatever. You can use a cereal bag, just some plastic, you know, maybe some packaging or whatever. So you're gonna need that. You're gonna need some Mod Podge, your brush, and now these are options. You can just use like your regular 2 or 3 ply napkins, or you can just use the napkin, the negative or the blank, I guess you could call it, that comes from the napkin. So you know, you just take your piece of tape, peel that first one, stick it, peel that second one, and then you're left with, you know, 2 blank ones. And then you can use your, you know, just cut your image. Some people cut theirs using water and a paintbrush, and that's totally fine. But to me, it works just as good, just actually tearing along the edge, just as long as you're careful not to tear the image that you're wanting to use. To me, it's easier just to tear it, so that's what I'm doing. And then, and that's an option, just using an already printed out image, such as that. Or you can just take like a piece of leftover paper or napkin, and then cut it down to size or whatever. And then you can stamp on it as well. So that's what I'm going to do on some of these. Like this is a printed one. Now this one, it already has like a kind of a vintagey color, similar to the tea stained paper that we're going to be using, but I'm still going to use tea over top of it. So we have that image and this image, and then like I said, you can just stamp. I've already prepared some stamps, and you should probably use some archival inks or something that's permanent, because since you know your Mod Podge is going to have water and things like that in it, or it can make your image run. So you don't want that. You want like a permanent ink that's not going to run. And I'm just going to stamp on here. Very pretty. I think I'm gonna stamp in another color. It's good to do that. Just, you can kind of build up and create like your own collage, I guess you could call it. I think I'm gonna turn it this way. Move this out the way. And then I think I'm going to come back through. Let me wipe this off first. There's that. And then I think I'm going to put like, this butterfly in the middle. But I'm going to use a contrasting color that I know is going to stick out. Perhaps I could use blue. Now this is pigment ink. So pigment ink, archival ink, those are 2 good types of permanent inks that you could use. So we're just going to make sure we get our butterfly covered. And I'm just going to turn it kind of at an angle. I mean, that shows kind of. And so what another thing you can do to highlight that, if it's not good enough to your taste or to your liking, you can take a permanent, like an acrylic ink pen, like maybe a Posca pen or something that's permanent. Well, acrylic, that's not really, that's still paint, so it can still run. Well, you know what, let me just try. This is this is an acrylic marker. I'm just going to try it out anyway. I'm just going to kind of go around the edge of the butterfly and just kind of add just a few accents here and there to kind of outline the shape of the butterfly. And you can just, you know, have fun with it and create your own stuff. Maybe give it some wings. I mean, some antennas or whatever. And, you know, maybe give it a tail, depending on what kind of, you know, if it's a swallowtail, like what kind of, depending on what kind of butterfly you want it to resemble. You know. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I've already gotten some images that I'm going to be using. Of course, this one here that we just did. And then I already showed you this. And then, of course, this one. And I'm going to kind of let that dry a little bit because that paint is still, the ink's still a little bit damp. Then we have this. And then this one. These are just from leftover. I have like a bag. I've got way more napkins that haven't been opened. But these are just like leftovers that I've already like opened up. These are the scraps of them. And then on this one right here, which way? Actually, it goes this way. Yeah. This is from the Prima Marketing stamp set that I've got. This one is from, no, it's Stampendous. Well, it's still Prima Marketing, I think. Or is it? Stampendous? No, it's Stampendous. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Stampendous. I don't know why I thought it was Prima Marketing. But yeah, that's where this is from. And, kind of like this. Very beautiful. And she's got like her little, what do you call it, feathers and roses in her hair. And I did a combination of stamps, and then I also took that Morphone acrylic paint pen around her eyes and around the shape of her face and whatnot. So that's how we got that. And then I just created like a little collage of stamped images. I'm not real sure how well these are going to turn out, but up against some book pages, I imagine they will look pretty good. Now, this stamp just didn't do too good because, and I used different shades of ink, but yeah, they're not very, it's not very dark. But I'm still going to give it a shot anyway. So, this one, I think I'm still going to add, let me just put this one here. Let me just put it in the order and how I want it to go on here. I think I'll put this here first and then I'll do the butterfly. And then these are just archival inks, little small individual ink pads. I'm just going to stamp. And even if the image isn't like real pronounced, that's fine because it's kind of like a background image. That part right there is anyway. And then I think I'm going to use brown ink for the butterfly. I think I'm going to use some ground espresso. The other ones that I've used in here are black soot, brown espresso, vintage photo, and I've got a little gray one in here somewhere. I also used hickory smoke. I don't know what I did with there's the lid. And put the lid on this blue right quick so it doesn't dry out. Okay, and what did I say? I was going to use brown espresso for the butterfly that I just lost. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, yeah. Make sure I ink it up really well. And I totally learned these techniques from Natasha of Treasure Books. She has a tutorial, a much more detailed tutorial on how she did it. So, and I'm definitely going to go over this butterfly with the acrylic paint pen just to make it more pronounced. Alright, so now we're getting ready to start doing our decoupaging. So, basically, it's super duper simple. All you're doing is just adding your Mod Podge first. And I'm going to slide this plastic down because it's it's a pretty big size. And as I need more room, I'll slide it over. So, all Natasha did, basically, was, you know, just add your watered down, not watered down, but add your Mod Podge. And I think it was 2 parts glue, 1 part water, or something like that, you know. So, and she just used PVA glue, I think that's what it was. You can just use whatever kind of glue that you have that you feel like will work. And you're just going to, you put your glue down first, and then you're just going to paint on your image from the middle on out. And then she put the tea bag over top of it. So, and in her video, she took these edges off. That way they would have more of a frayed edge instead of a straight edge. It's optional. You don't have to do that. But I did like how she did hers. I'm going to do it the same way. And I'm going to take this top part off as well. And she had different size tea bags too. So if you have smaller ones, you can connect 2 of them together. Or if one size is big enough, that'll totally work. So, in this instance, I think since this brown was already dark enough, I think I'm just going to just use one on it. But had this image been on white paper, I would have probably, you know what, I don't think this needs it because I think that kind of ruins it. I think I'm not going to put it on that one simply because it is dark already. Let me try her. Let me put my glue down first. I just don't want to waste it, so that's why I went ahead and hurried up and took that off. But there's another step that I need to show you right quick. Let's just make sure we get her straight. Oh, yeah, see? Our acrylic pen, yeah, that's where I messed up. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, let me just see if I can put this directly over top of her. Try to straighten that out. Now, what Natasha did was she just kind of scooched up her edges, because she said that once it dries, it's a whole lot easier to try to peel it up. It won't get stuck to your plastic like that. So, I mean, that's just an option. And it also gives the edge, you know, more of a vintage kind of jagged edge, you know. So she just slid them over to the side like that. Like scrunched it up. Okay, I just wanted to show you in this instance, this image, I tore a piece of this off because it needs an extra piece down here. So this is where, like, if you had small tea bags, you could still combine two of them together to just still create just your one image. And that's what I'm doing right here is I'm adding, there's two pieces over top of this. But it'll still work. Okay, so for this one right here, I decided it's going to have 3 layers because I went on ahead and just put the stamped image that wasn't very, it wasn't really visible too well. And so I put it over top of the other layer, and you can see that layer too. So I'm wondering if I should just let that layer be by itself and then just put this layer over here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let that layer be by itself and then just try to find some room for this other layer. And just let it be by itself because, I don't know. To me, it just didn't show very well. So this is like the opposite effect. This one is on top of the tea bag. And this one right here is just by itself. Let me slide this down a little bit, or maybe turn it like this. So this is by itself and that one's by itself, and this one is too. So it's gonna be like faux, I guess like a faux vellum type deal with these two, or these 3. And then this one, I don't know, we'll see. We're gonna see how it turns out. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna let these dry outside and I'll be back when they're dry. Okay, so these have been out drying pretty much all day outside. And they come up off the plastic really easily. So this is what they look like. And they would look good probably against a book page or a dictionary page or something. Maybe even on a journal page or something. Let me see. Oh, like that. That looks good. I might even use that on one of these pages as well. As like a pocket or a side pocket. I think I will do that. So yeah, but let me just show you each one. So here's one with the butterfly, the one that was stamped, and I used some acrylic, what do you call it, Morphone acrylic paint pen, along with some of the other stamps and stuff like that. This one, it didn't really show up quite as well, but you can see a little detail of a flower and some little stamps, and yeah. There's that one, and here's that bird. This one was a napkin that that already had an image on it. And then this one I really like this one. This one turned out really well. So I might use this one and maybe this one in this journal. We'll see. And I like how she turned out. She turned out really good. So I put some, let me put it under white paper so you can really see more of the detail of it. I like that. And then you have this one. You can see the stamped images on there. And then here's a bigger one. Now this one I had used two different tea bags. If you look carefully, you can see where the two were connected, but that's still cute. And then we have, let me just take all these loose right quick. Like I said, they come off really easily. And I can move this plastic out of the way. Now this is that one, you can't really see the stamped image too well on it, but I'll still do something with it. I don't know for sure. Yeah, and then this is that other one that was similar to that. I was going to put the two over top each other with the tea bag, but I decided not to. And this is the one that I did put the image over top of the tea bag. You can kind of see it, but not real thrilled with that either. And then we have our faux vellum that we can use with this one. I like how that turned out in the color. Then we have this one. You can faintly see some of the stamped images. But yeah, you're probably better off just having darker stamped images. But it still worked out. So yeah, I'm going to add this to the journal. And my next video hopefully will be the flip through when I've assembled everything together. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And like I said, I'll try to have, the next video will be a flip through of the final tea time hashtag how do you do. And then I'm going to try to get my low-key thankful journal completed. I'm trying to get everything done this week. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.